folks, today we got to play Wyatt Earp. So this is a rummy type of board game, but before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because you like Western themed games and you don't want to miss out on Western Wednesday. Tell us more about this game, Randy.
All right. Well, this is kind of an odd duck. This game was part of the Mystery Rummy series that was released by Griffin Games. This was originally released.
But it's not.
I know it's not by Griffin Games, is it? So this was released in 2001. It has nowhere on this does it indicate that it's part of the Mystery Rummy series. There were 5 games in that series, and that was with themes of Jack the Ripper and Jekyll and Hyde and Al Capone and Murder at the Rue Morgue and then Escape from Alcatraz. And I have all of them except for the Escape from Alcatraz one.
Why not?
I just never got it. And these went out of print before I got a hold of it. So I'll probably eventually track it down just to complete, because I'm a completionist. I have to have this set. But, you know, the theme also wasn't as appealing to me as the other ones.
Yeah.
As far as this game goes, though, this is part of the Aaliyah series, too, which is what makes it really odd, because the Aaliyah series is known for, like, Puerto Rico and the Traders of Genoa and Princes of Florence and all of those medium-sized games that came out that were pretty good.
This is not
Euros.
medium-sized.
No, this is a small box game. It's bigger rocks than the rest of the Mystery Rummy series, but it's still a small box game. And it's really odd that it just doesn't, it's kind of a strange situation, but it is probably the one of the better ones of the Mystery Rummy series, and why they chose to release it under the Aaliyah series, which is kind of known for excellence as far as the Euro games goes. Kind of odd situation. Anyway, this has a 6.8 rating on Board Game Geek, a rank of 1172. It's 2 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes. I think we were playing it probably a little less than that, but maybe 30, I don't know. Age 8 and up. Designers were Richard Borg and Mike Fitzgerald. Artists were Vincent Dutrait and Franz Vollwinkle. The publisher, in this case, is Rio Grande Games, but like I mentioned, it was released under Griffin Games as well, and there was a few others too. So when we check to see its availability, it is out of print, but you can find it at Amazon for like $80, but there's somebody selling it new in the United States for $5 on Board Game Geek's site. So if you were interested, $5 not a bad price for this.
No. So let's talk about quality of components. So the cards, there's no texture, but
yeah, they're very thin.
They're very thin.
We've played this.
You already
a lot.
see them edging. Is
yeah,
kind of
played this a lot over the years. It's
really?
2001. Yeah.
We haven't played it.
You haven't played it. I've played it a lot. You forget I had a life before I met you.
Are you sure?
I did. Well, I was renting to own. But anyway, I played a lot of this because I like the Mystery Rummy series. But the card quality, I can't say it was good ever.
Yeah, and these are like chintzy cardboard. Like,
yeah.
It's barely cardboard.
Yeah,
Barely
and
cardboard
money, same thickness as all of the other rest of the cardboard.
Yeah, so just I'm gonna have to probably give this. What do you think? 4.5?
That's higher than I was going. I was going between 3 and a 4 on it. I'd probably give it a 4. It's definitely less than Catan.
Yeah, that's where I was I felt bad because last time I gave something 4 in quality, y'all be like beating me up over it. So
no, this is definitely less than Catan. I just don't know whether I go 3 or 4. I'll probably give it a 4 because I'm feeling generous.
Okay, all right, I believe you. And then so going on to theme, so obviously a Western. It's Western Wednesday. I mean, it's
very historic. It's got all of the wanted reward posters that they have are really cool. They have the history of each of these gunslingers from the Old West. So, and they've got their lifespan on there, which is kind of interesting because if they're wanted, why would you have the day they died? Because now they're no longer wanted, but for some reason we're still pursuing them after they died. But I'm glad they put the history on there. It just makes it look a little strange being there's a reward for a dead person. I love the pictures. They have the actual pictures from like the Old West pictures on the the cards and on.
Yeah, I mean, visually it's very Western.
Yeah. Gameplay wise, it's just Rummy, so it's
yeah.
Well,
and you've got like the hideout cards, and you've got the Wyatt Earp, and then some of the other like the photos. So you got a couple things going on.
Yeah, because you've got cards that actually affect the gameplay, so you can actually commit crimes with the outlaws and have them get more notoriety and therefore a bigger reward.
Right.
So I do like that. I think that's thematic. And the art, I think, is thematic.
Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, I mean, 6 maybe.
That's about where I'm at. I think 6 is probably a good score for it. It's not like this is exuding Western feel because that certainly isn't carried into the gameplay at all.
No.
Except for the fact that you do have the
I mean, it's a little bit there. It's a little bit there. The art's pretty good. 6 is what you're going to get out of me on this one. So moving on to rules. I mean, the rules are very straightforward in the fact that it's Rummy.
Well, it's Rummy with a little variant, which that's what you expect. What's nice about it is this is, again, because it's an Aaliyah series game. This is a very nice rule book because they always have a shorthand section on all the Aaliyah series. So you have the detailed rules, and then you have a summary in a small panel on the side, so you can just skim it if you've played the game before to refresh your memory on how to play, so you don't have to read the whole rule book again. I've always liked how Aaliyah's done their rule books, and this one is no different. It's got explanations for all the cards.
So what would you score it as then?
I'm going to give it a 9. I mean, it's a very effective rule book. It doesn't have a cover. It's probably the only thing keeps it from a 10. It's because I don't like games that don't give you a cover on them. But I mean, it's a very effective rule book. It teaches the game very easily.
Yeah. So let's move on to gameplay. So the gameplay, you start out with how many cards in your hand?
You get, I believe we dealt 10. I believe.
So you get 10 cards in your hand. Double check that. And then for your turn, you draw either 2 cards from the pile, or you grab 1 from the discard pile, and then you, at that point, you can choose to play any cards that you have. You can only play 3 or more of a suit unless the suit's already been played, and by suit I mean color. So these don't really have suits; they have colors.
So that would be a meld in Rummy.
Yeah.
Where you're playing it to the board table.
And then you actually know what that's called.
I play cards all my life. I know how to play Rummy.
I know how to play Rummy too. I just didn't know that's
it's
like
called a
there's
meld.
Terminology.
Yes.
I just put them down.
It's called a meld.
Okay, so you put them down, and then there are specialty cards that have the sheriff. You can only play 1 sheriff card per turn. Highly annoying. Highly annoying is all I'm going to say with that one. So you can only play 1 per turn. These things will stuff your deck.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Well, I think that's where this varies from Rummy, because if it weren't for that, it would just be flat out Rummy. But the sheriff cards are both a help and a hindrance.
Amen to that. I mean, and here's the thing though, they might be more useful when you had more players, because I don't know why, just maybe they are.
I thought they were very useful. I used them to boost myself up higher than you on a few of the categories by playing more outlaw cards.
But I still won.
I didn't say you didn't. I just said that I found them very useful. In the hideout, I was able to knock out one of your categories altogether.
That made me, so the one cards that I found useful was the Wyatt Earp and this. The rest, not worth it to me.
It added more money to the pot, and it increased the stake on that. If you could get
it to play, it's a maybe. Now, the one that didn't let me steal cards from your hands, those were useful too.
Yeah.
But some of these, like, you have to win a shot for it to be worth anything, it's just like a waste. And when there's so many stars and you're trying to get rid of the stars as fast as you can, I was just easier off to discard them because there was a potential no value to them. So that's why I said, I didn't use them very much. I did use a few of the cards. A few of the cards were very beneficial, I should say. It reminded me how much I love Rummy. Guys, I used to play Rummy in middle school non-stop. We played literally, like during free time or whatever it is, we had a group and we would either be playing Rummy or Pokemon. Like, that was our games. And depending on how many people we had, we played Rummy, our hearts. And then we played Pokemon because we're nerdy like that. And so this brought those memories back.
I actually prefer these to Rummy, and because it adds variety. It's almost like how I actually like to play battle chess or nightmare chess, not battle chess, nightmare chess more than I like to play chess now. I love chess. I was chess club captain. I used to love to play chess, but I actually prefer playing with the cards, the variant from nightmare chess. So similar to that, I prefer this kind of Rummy because it has the variant.
Honestly though, I mean, it just takes me back now. I actually want to play actual Rummy. Not gonna lie. No, I understand why you say that. It gives it a little more variety. It a little ups the game, especially if you have people that understand Rummy and you're just wanting a little bit more out of them. So no, I get where the time and place on this is, and I mean overall, I think it's an okay game. I just don't think it's. I don't know if I'm going to remember this game later. Like as far as memorability, I think it's going to get forgotten, and a collection of 3,000 is going to get forgotten. So I feel kind of bad for it. I'm sure it has a time and a place. I'm kind of saying farewell to it, even though I just know it's going to get lost in the collection. For me, I'm going to probably give this a 6, with the caveat of it took me back to middle school, and Omar, oh man, we got to play sometime. That me and him, we constantly played between Pokemon and Rummy. We always played. So
I'm more of a 6.5 on this one because of the flavor of I like the history and all the cards and all the descriptions and the history of the outlaws. I love that. And it's not just like a little blurb in the rulebook. It's in your face while you're playing the game, and you can sit there and read it while you're waiting for your turn to come along. I like that.
I do like that. That is actually pretty cool.
So I'm giving that. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay.
I don't think this is an outstanding game, but I do think it, and that's why I'm really surprised this fell under the Aaliyah series. But I'm glad it did because it gave it a better rulebook, and it gave us, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad game. I just think it's not very memorable, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, and it is an older game. I mean, this is 2001.
Now I will say it has aged well in the card. It doesn't look that aged because I've seen some of the games that we played from early 2000s, and it's like, man, you can tell this game's old, but this game I think has kind of held. As far as appearance goes, because I think with the theme they did a good enough job for it to transcend a little bit of time, so that's great. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a blast, and hopefully you guys did too. Can't wait to see you guys again. Bye.